So, we're all using AI these days, right? But have you stopped to think if it's changing the very way our brains work? Well, today we're diving into a really fascinating paper by Mario Arturo Ruiz Estrada that asks a huge question about the future of economics and, honestly, our own creativity. Let's get right into it. I mean, think about it. We've got AI that can write entire essays, code complex software, and create some pretty incredible art. But is all this amazing power a revolutionary tool for our minds, or is it a kind of hidden threat to our own human creativity? This paper tackles that paradox head on.
You can really see the two sides of the coin here. On one hand, AI is the ultimate assistant. It can supercharge economic analysis, solve problems in seconds. It's a huge efficiency boost. But the paper warns about a much darker side, a future where AI becomes a destroyer of the very skills that make us, well, human. We're talking about our ability to think critically and come up with something truly original. Now, the central warning of this research is pretty stark. It's basically saying we might be walking into a full-blown creativity crisis. The author argues that our growing dependency on AI isn't just a bad habit, it could be a serious threat to the future of human knowledge itself. And the author really doesn't mince words. He says AI could become an irreversible destroyer of creativity. Now think about that for a second. This isn't just about getting a temporary creative block. It's about a fundamental and maybe even permanent shift in our ability to think for ourselves. This timeline from the paper paints a pretty sobering picture. It projects a future where human knowledge in economics doesn't just slow down, it basically collapses. And in its place, AI takes over completely. And get this, the paper actually puts a date on this tipping point, the year 2045. That's the year it projects AI will achieve complete dominance. It's a future where our own thinking could be almost entirely outsourced to machines. So, how on earth could this happen? Well, the paper outlines this five-step path to what it calls the auto-destruction of human knowledge. It's a really slippery slope that starts with something as simple as the convenience of chatbots and ends in a world where we've kind of forgotten how to think for ourselves. Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. This paper doesn't just sound the alarm. It also offers a pretty bold and practical solution, a whole new way to work with AI that puts human creativity right back in the center of the whole process. So the proposed solution is called AIEM prototyping. Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but the idea behind it is actually brilliantly simple. Instead of just typing a text prompt, you build a physical model of your idea first. You actually create something with your own hands, and then you use that to guide the AI. The goal here is just fantastic. Use AI as your co-pilot, not your autopilot. This method puts you firmly back in the driver's seat, using AI as an incredibly powerful tool to bring your own original ideas to life. All right, so how does this human-first, AI-assisted approach actually work? Let's break down the process step by step. The process has 5 stages, and you'll see it's all about putting you in control. First, you start by mastering the basics yourself. No AI allowed. Then you get your hands dirty. You build a physical model of your idea. And only then do you bring in the AI, using your own creation to guide its analysis. Now, the most important part of this whole thing is stage 2, the hands-on creation. By building a physical model first, you're making sure that the entire project is grounded in your own unique creativity and your vision. The AI just becomes a tool to enhance your idea, not replace it. Okay, so to see how this works in the real world, the paper applies this method to a classic economic problem. How do tariffs impact inflation? It's a super complex issue and honestly a perfect test for this new approach. So the paper sets up this really cool direct comparison, AI alone versus the human plus AI approach. In one corner, you've got a simple text prompt. In the other, you've got a detailed physical model created by a human. And the results? They're pretty striking. When the AI worked all by itself, the result was, fine. It produced a technically correct 3D graphic, but it was flat, kind of lifeless, and it just lacked the nuance you'd need for a real-world economic model. But when the human-made prototype was added to the mix, the result was a total game changer. The AI produced this stunningly detailed model that wasn't just visually impressive, it was a genuinely powerful tool for analysis and simulation. I mean, the difference between those two results is such a powerful illustration of the paper's central message. The future isn't about human versus AI.
It's about finding these new, clever ways to combine our creativity with the raw power of machines.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Where does all of this leave us? The paper's findings really challenge us to rethink our entire relationship with AI and to start building a future where technology serves our creativity, not the other way around.
And the paper leaves us with one final, critical warning. If we're not careful, we could genuinely lose our autonomy, our ability to think for ourselves. So the challenge for all of us is to use these powerful tools without, letting them use us.
At the end of the day, the future of our relationship with AI isn't about rejecting it. It's about partnership. It's about being intentional and using these incredible tools to amplify our own creativity and to push the boundaries of what's possible. So the final question is really for you. How are you using AI? Is it a crutch, or is it a tool to help you think bigger, create more, and become a more powerful version of yourself? The choice, really, is ours to make.